Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 10 of the Purple and Gold Hoops podcast. As always, it's Adam.
This is Kevin.
Here to bring you all Lakers content. We're going to start the show off by making an announcement first. Kevin and I were both called a 3-0 record last week, and we're perfect in our predictions. So let's give ourselves a little round of applause. Yay!
First time ever.
Right, that both of us were right. Kevin's been pretty good at it this year, but I've been on the other end of that, so I'm pretty proud of myself for that one. We're going to start talking about the Knicks win, and the Knicks came into Staples Center. There was a few memorable things about the game. I wanted to open it up by talking about how the Knicks decided to, I guess you would say, attack LeBron on the defensive end, because they were just laying off of him and letting him shoot wide open threes, whatever type of jump shot. They were daring him to shoot, kind of like the Spurs did in 2006 or whatever it was, the first time he went to the finals.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand that. I mean, I get it. LeBron hasn't been statistically the best three-point shooter or field goal jump shooter in his career, but you can't let LeBron do that. Like, you can't just sag off LeBron and say, like, go ahead and take that shot. Like,
I get the strategy. I get the approach. What I don't understand is when it's not working, you make adjustments, right?
I mean, they stuck with it. You got to give them something for the – I don't know, man. Like, they stuck with it. They were – I don't know who the coach is right now. I think it's some interim Mike Miller because they fired David Fizdale.
Yeah.
Not the former NBA player. Yeah, Fizz was good. But yeah, they stuck with it, and the Lakers ended up winning 117-87, so they beat them by 30. LeBron had 31 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 9 for 19 from the field, and 6 for 12 from 3. So they sagged off, and LeBron went 50% from the three-point line.
6 of 12 from 3. That's 18 points alone right there.
And they didn't think, let's not do this no more.
Let me just
you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me, for a different reason, it reminded me of Sam Mitchell. Back in 2006 when Kobe put up the 81, his whole thing was, we're not going to double. We're just not. I'm going to throw different looks at you, different players. We're going to rotate differently. We're going to, but we're not going to double. And Kobe went off for 55 in the second half, 81 in the game. But, I mean, I guess there's something admirable to, like, the fact that you're going to stand by your decision.
I'll give it out. Look,
it's not smart.
I'll give Mitchell a little bit of credit because towards the end of the game, Mitchell actually started doubling him and then putting boxing one on him and then start tripling Kobe. Whereas this coach was just like, hey, you know what? I'm just going down with the ship.
I mean, like I said, something kind of admirable about that. It's not the smart decision. But you got to respect somebody who stands by their decision, you know? Like,
he's like, I promise you I'm right about this. I promise you.
I'll be interested to see if they play him the same way when they go to New York in a couple weeks. Because that's if they're that dumb and they'd come out doing it again in the Garden, I would love to hear them get booed off the court.
Oh. I mean, aren't they already booed off the court?
Yeah, but I don't get to see it, man. I don't watch the Knicks games unless they play the Lakers. I want to be able to see it. I want a little bit of satisfaction, you know?
I actually want to see the Knicks be good for once.
I would love to see a Knicks-Lakers finals someday. Like,
the Knicks haven't been good since I was a kid.
Last time I remember them being good was 99 with Latrell Sprewell out in Houston.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, it's ugly up there.
James Dolan. Is it James or Jim?
James Dolan.
I was right. Yeah,
keep on playing your guitar, James.
I'm sure every Knicks fan, if y'all are listening right now, cringes every time I say that. But in other news from that game, I guess we'll get to the big piece of news, the biggest piece. I don't know why I buried the lead here. Anthony Davis had 5 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists on 2 for 8 shooting, 0 for 1 from 3 in 28 minutes. Now, part of the reason why his numbers were that bad were because I believe in the last 3 minutes of the third quarter, there was a hard foul. I believe it was Julius Randle he collided with, funny enough, former Laker.
Julius Randle just trying to get his back.
Yeah, and AD fell. He hit the ground hard, and he got some injury. Basically, it's a bruised tailbone. Mm-hmm. So, like, it
looked worse than it was. It looked really bad.
I mean, thank God X-rays were negative and everything, or MRI was negative, X-rays were negative, but he couldn't get up. He got to, like, past the bench into the tunnel where there would the crowd couldn't see him, but he was having a hard time even walking to the locker room. They had to cart him out on a stretcher to his car that night and everything like that. And so it's only a bone bruise. Thank God it's nothing serious. But he has missed the last 2 games against the Mavs and Thunder, which you expect that. It was back-to-back nights as well, but it was a scary moment for all of Lakers fans. And I tell Kevin all the time, every time I see LeBron or AD hit the ground, my heart skips a beat.
This was the worst though, because before AD has gotten hit in the eye like a million times. Mm-hmm. I swear someone's hit him in the eye every game. This time he tried to block Julius Randle's shot, and both feet and hands were in the air, and he just fell right on his back. Yeah, he
literally just fell right on his butt, just in that ground. That is hard. That doesn't feel good. I remember doing that as a kid on the concrete at the park or whatever, and it hurt me as a kid, so I couldn't imagine what at 26. He's still relatively young, especially in the scope of life.
Yeah.
But, that still has to hurt, and obviously he was in quite a bit of pain because, like I said, he was stretchered had to be taken to his car on a stretcher or whatever.
Yeah, normally when a player gets hurt, they go to commercial break, which they did. And by the time they come back from commercial break,
he's still on the ground.
You're like, oh, he's still on the ground?
Uh-huh. Yeah, see, that's the nice thing about the streaming that I do, because I don't have Spectrum. When it goes to commercial, I'm still looking at what's going on in the arena. I don't see commercials. I see there's a camera, and I'll, during timeouts and halftime, I see the whole halftime show. I see the Laker girls.
You actually watch the whole halftime show?
It's on, bro. I normally get up and go do something else. And when I hear the game come back on, I'll come back. But during timeouts and whatnot, I'll sit there and I'll watch the Laker girls. So I get to see everything that's going on. And I was watching it. It didn't look good. I was very worried. I didn't know if this was about to be our season. I didn't know what was going to happen. Because what if he would have broke his tailbone?
If either LeBron or AD go down, that's it. That's a wrap. Lakers are done.
Oh, yeah. We'll still make the playoffs. Probably about a 4, 5, 6 seed somewhere in there just because of the amount of wins they've already stacked up. But they won't make it past the second round depending on who they match up with.
Yeah, it'll be pointless. It'll be like LeBron James, Cleveland Cavaliers, but dressed in uniforms.
Don't make me think about that. Please don't make me do it. Please don't make me do it. Excuse the sniffling, people. I'm kind of under the weather, so I know it's not going to sound the best, but I'm trying here for you. Nobody else really did much. The only other player, there was quite a few in double figures. Avery Bradley with 12, Danny Green with 11, Kuz with 16, and KCP with 15. But it wasn't really notable what any of them did. It doesn't stick out in my head. I
think it was just an overall good team win.
Yeah.
Nothing really happened.
So this was a good win, right?
Yeah, it was a good win.
But there's no bad wins.
There are bad wins.
You tried to tell me there's no such thing as a bad win.
Look, there are bad wins in the NBA. We haven't had one of those. Luckily. Not that I can remember.
Yeah, right. Yeah, not yet.
It's if you barely beat a terrible team, like the Clippers, then you see that shade I just
Kevin, he loaded up the shotgun and was just sprayed the whole door. Oh my God, I'm gonna tell you guys right now, Kevin's been throwing shade at the Clippers. To me personally, I don't know why he feels like he needs to take it out on me, like I'm some sort of Clippers fan or something. But he's been throwing shade at the Clippers to me for the last week and a half. I swear to God, every other day there's something Clippers related where we talk about it, and he's just talking bad about the Clippers, and he's basically putting me on the spot to defend them, and I'm like, why do you do this to me? I'm not a Clippers fan, you know that, right? Yes. And he still does it to me, but I don't know, he don't like the Clippers.
Well, so the Clippers barely beat the Knicks, and the Knicks have only won 10 games. They won, the Clippers beat the Knicks 135-132. That's a bad win. There's no way.
Wasn't that game at home, too?
That game was at home.
Yeah, that was right before the Lakers played.
Yes, and there's nobody on the Knicks. I mean, they have players. They have some.
They're too front loaded. It's too much Julius Randle, Bobby Portis, Taj Gibson, bigs, like 4 or 5 combos. Like, what are you doing?
You can't have them all on the court at the same time.
What are you doing?
Yeah. So even though there seems to be no plan with the Knicks, they have terrible strategy on how they want to build their team. They almost beat the Clippers. That's a bad win.
I was hoping that they were going to actually beat the Clippers.
Oh, that would have been funny.
I was scoreboard watching. I wasn't watching the actual game now, but I was keeping an eye on the score.
Yeah.
What do you think of R.J. Barrett? 19 points on 9 for 19 shooting. I mean, it took him a lot of shots to get to his 19, but
I appreciate
still
the
about
effort.
50%.
Especially from a rookie, because, in college, you play about 30, 35 games.
If you get to the Final Four.
If you get to the Final Four. And usually by then, rookies usually start to slow down their
they hit their rookie wall between 25, 32 games.
Because they're not used to it. And there's more minutes in the NBA. The TV, the timeouts are less. So just seeing him constantly attacking, it makes you feel like he's going to be a good player. And, I know he's going to be a good player.
I was listening to the pregame show driving home before the game started, and that was one of the things I was thinking about from the Knicks side. I obviously knew the Lakers were going to win. I didn't sound conceited or anything, but that's what I predicted. The Knicks are a bad team. The Lakers are top 2 or 3 in the NBA, so you kind of knew. But I was hoping that R.J. Barrett would have a big game because that's the one player I wanted to see from New York. I obviously love Taj Gibson, but I have my own personal reasons like that. Because how he's off the court.
And he went to USC.
There's that too. But he's just a good dude. We've been over that before. So I'm obviously a Taj Gibson fan, but I was hoping RJ would have a great night. He didn't really do too well. He didn't do terribly either. It was not like he was god awful or anything, but he was average. He was a minus 15, but damn near everybody on the team was minus. Everybody on the Knicks roster played against the Lakers. Everybody was a minus. So, he had a great, okay game for a rookie. 19, like I said, 19 points on 9 for 19 shooting. So 31 minutes, nothing special, but it wasn't terrible.
It's gonna be hard to be productive on the Knicks because just look at their numbers. They had 15 assists. That means all night you're just going 1-on-1.
Yeah. I think that has to do with
how front-loaded they are.
That how young they are.
Yeah.
The fact that their coach technically has an interim tag, so do the players even really respect him? Yeah.
Man, you ain't gonna be here next year.
Exactly. They already know.
RJ Barrett's I'm gonna be here.
I'm here for the next 5 to 7 years, whether y'all want me or not. At least 4. Even if he flames out, they have to wait 4 years before they would decide not to re-sign him or trade him. But I don't see him giving up on him that quick or anything.
Well, they still have Frank Ntilikina on the roster.
Oh my God,
that was the worst signing of the Phil Jackson era.
Phil.
Man, Phil.
How are you that? I don't understand how it didn't translate. How are you that great on the sideline, but you're this bad evaluating talent? Oh my God. And there was Laker fans who were like, oh, bring Phil back. Put him in the front. No. No, that's not what. If Phil wants to come coach, okay, but not if he's going to do that BS where he's like, oh, I'm only coaching the home game. Nah, Phil. This is not no part-time job, man. You're not getting out that easy. And then you're going to say, oh, well, when it's a Clippers home game, I'm not coaching because that's technically a road. We're still in LA. Now you're really only coaching 39 games a year.
Oh, yeah.
And then we got to go out with Kurt Rambis, who is well below 500 for his coaching career. No.
Yeah, I can't stand Kurt Rambis as a coach.
So that's one of the smartest moves Genie made, was not bringing Phil back. But Phil made a lot of bad decisions. And there's a lot of bad decisions from the Knicks players. I don't understand why Reggie Bullock, he left us after last year, and they went to re-sign him. He left us for the Knicks. Okay, he I'm not sure what his contract is. We probably would have only given him a minimum. I'm sure he makes more over there. But still, you left a championship contending team, or what was going to be a championship contending team for the Knicks, Wayne Ellington. That's another guy. The Lakers should have went after, and he went to New York. He can shoot.
Look, Wayne Ellington can shoot, but we already have a player like Wayne.
Bring him back, bro. Former Laker, bring him back.
Bring him back. I mean, when he was
here,
get
the band back together.
Did he ever make any threes when he was here?
Yes.
I feel like he had missed every single time.
What do you mean? He was our best shooter.
I mean, in practice, yeah.
Oh my God. Kevin, you're a hater, bro.
Look, we already have a player like Wayne Ellington.
Who is
his name is Troy Daniels.
Okay.
I love Troy Daniels.
I trust Wayne Ellington more, though.
You what?
I trust Wayne Ellington more.
I ain't going that far.
I trust Wayne more. So yeah, that's that. Also, there was another big play in that game where KCP damn near had a concussion. Bobby Portis was going up to block his free throw on a fast break or something. Smacked him in the head. He got a flagrant 2 and was ejected. KCP had to come out the game because they took him to the locker room to see if he had a possible concussion. He didn't. He came back. But Bobby Portis was fined $25,000 for that, and he's had his issues. You and I had talked about this. Like, he punched Nikola Mirotic when he was with the Bulls in practice and broke dude's face. And the funny thing is, Nikola Mirotic, who got his nose broken, was the one that was traded. And Bobby Portis stayed on the team. So not only did you get beat up, but you got punked off the team, basically. Like,
but we never really got context about how that fight got started, so I'll let him slide on that. What I didn't... Well, first of all, it looked like after the play, Rondo was admonishing him for making the play. Like, you don't...
Portis, yeah.
Yeah, you don't do that. That's not smart. But the worst part about the play is that after it was over, it looked like he was laughing. He thought it was funny.
Yeah, dude got some problems, man. Dude got some problems.
I'm like, that's not funny. You don't go after someone in midair. That's like an unspoken basketball rule.
Yeah, dude got some problems. I'm not defending him by any means, but he's something else, man. And I believe he has some issues in college too. That's why he came out of like Iowa State or something. He didn't go to a major D1 school. He still was D1, but it wasn't like a basketball powerhouse.
No.
Yeah, I believe that's because he has some issues in college where he had to transfer or something, you know?
Well, yeah. I have no more to say about him. I'm done.
Okay, so what you got to say about this game, this 30-point win?
About the Knicks?
About the Knicks game, yeah.
Knicks game. I mean, that was a good game. It's a good game for the Lakers. Lakers have been starting fast lately. Something that you were worried about?
That wasn't until the Mavs, though. They didn't particularly start. I mean, they started okay. It was good pace. But compared to what they did against the Mavs and Thunder, which we'll get to in the first quarter, they were lighting it up against the Mavs and Thunder.
Yes. Yeah, nothing else really happened. You know, Avery Bradley was playing, even though he had an injury. We talked about it last week.
Mm-hmm.
How we thought he was going to be out for 2 or 3 games, maybe 2 or 3 weeks.
With that ankle.
Yeah, it came back like Popeye with the spinach.
Yeah, I was surprised. I respect it. See, when players do that, I respect them more.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what makes me feel like I start to develop a bond watching the team day in, day out. And I start to root for the players more because when they're giving their body to the team like that,
yeah,
I mean, I appreciate that as a fan. I really do. I know most fans probably don't, but I do because he could very easily have been like, "Nah, I'm cool."
Yeah, I'm just gonna collect this check.
Yeah,
take my time through this.
I'm gonna take this $800,000 game check, and every time I sit over here in a suit for 2.5 hours, y'all got to pay me $800,000. Like that
could have been that easy.
That's the life, right?
And he's had a lot of injuries this year, but at the same time, his injuries aren't accidental. You can tell his injuries are because the way he plays, and he's an on-ball defender that we really need, and he's always against their best, whoever our opponent's best perimeter player is, and he gets injured because he's playing so hard. Yeah,
well, what they've been saying is even LeBron. All year they've been saying Avery Bradley sets the tone for us defensively.
Oh, yes. I mean, the way he played Luka Doncic that one night when he went I think 5 of 14. And he really shut him down. He's been shutting down everybody.
You want to transition into the Mavs game now that you brought up Luka?
I guess so.
Or you got any last notes you want to say? Knicks.
No, it's actually funny because at the end, I think at the end of this game, Dwight Howard knocked out a 3-pointer. I did want to talk about Dwight Howard.
Okay.
Man, he's been playing amazing.
Overall?
Yes, it looks like,
Okay, so since it's not one particular game, we'll save him until after the game wrap-up.
Yes.
Obviously, if you, for a particular game, mention, but if you want to talk about overall play, we'll save that until that.
Yeah.
Which shows Dwight and 2 other players that we have written down that we're going to get to as far as how they've been playing. So we'll kind of talk about all 3 of them.
Yes. So, when Lakers played the Dallas Mavericks. Of course, Lakers defeated them 129-114. LeBron James had this monster game. 35 points, 16 rebounds, 7 assists.
I believe I saw a stat that was his first 35-15 rebound game of his career.
Knowing LeBron, that's no big deal.
That's why it's surprising. It's his first time ever putting up 35 points 15. And 15 rebounds, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he almost had triple-double. He's only 3 assists away.
In a small way, I feel like he did it. He played that hard because people have been comparing him to Luka, and he just wanted to remind the world he ain't no LeBron.
Yeah. He shot really well, too. 14 for 25.
Yes.
Field 3 for, again, 50%, 3 for 6 on the 3-point line. You want to know the one thing that irks me about LeBron? The one thing that irks me. And I was thinking about this when I was watching.
How can you be irked by LeBron right now?
I'm nitpicking, all right? Let me preface it that way. I'm nitpicking, all right? It's not a big deal. It's not like it's just probably me over-exaggerating and me trying to find an issue. I don't like how every year he changes his free throw shooting.
Oh, he changes his free throw shooting every game.
Yeah, but it's very drastic between year. Like last year, he would take a couple dribbles, get low, take a step back with his right foot, step back, and then shoot on his way up. I was watching a game recently. I forgot which game it was. He goes to the free throw line. There's no rhythm dribble. There was no bend at the knees. It was literally he got the ball and it was just straight up, just all arms. Which that's fine. I can do that. So if I can shoot a 15-footer without bending my knees or just straight arms, I know he can. But it's the fact that he's so bad at shooting free throws. And every year, he's constantly drastically changing it. And maybe that's why, because he never actually stuck with one style of shooting free throws. If you watch Jason Kidd throughout his entire career, he rotated the ball in his hands a couple times, blew a kiss at the rim. Like, even if you do some goofy stuff like that, I'm okay if you're consistent about it.
Did you ever watch Karl Malone?
I didn't see him shoot free throws. What did he do?
He took the longest at the free throw line. He would dribble, spin the ball in his hand, let it come back, spin it again, let it come back. Sometimes he would spin it 2 or 3 times. Spin it again, he'd be rocking back, and then he would shoot it. I kid you not, every free throw took like 15 seconds.
I'm going to have to lick that up.
So when the Bulls with Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen played the Utah Jazz, I felt like those series lasted forever.
Was it 96 and 97 or was it 97 and 98? I know they played them back to back.
It might have been 96, 97.
Okay.
But it took forever because he just took so long. I was like, if you don't stop spinning that ball, I'm going to slap you through this TV. No, and I can't do that to Karl Malone. He's a big dude.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's my beef with LeBron. Like, you're not a good free throw shooter, and I get that you're so bad that you feel like you have to change something. But don't change it that drastically every single freaking year. Like, every year you're doing something different. He did this when he was in Cleveland. Mm-hmm. He did this when he was in Miami. I don't think he's had the same free throw shooting, ritual 2 years in a row.
Check this out. Do you follow Laker Film Room?
I know Pete Zayas, and I've seen some of his stuff. I don't follow it just because I'm not on social media like that.
So he showed video clips of LeBron James changing his free throw shooting stance within the same game.
Game.
So there have been games where he's done it.
Maybe
ways.
I just don't notice it like in the game.
Yes,
but like I notice it year to year. Like I don't understand why he's doing it. Why? I get it. You have to fix something. You have to tweak something because you're that bad. But it's like, maybe you're this bad because you keep messing with it.
I don't know. He's just not good at it. It's just like it kind of reminds me of when the Lakers had Shaq and Kobe. Kobe went to the free throw line. That's a bucket. Shaq went to the free throw line. Well,
I make them when they count. I don't want to hear that, Shaq. But to Shaq's credit, at least in the fourth quarter, he did make his free throws.
Anyways, you missed all the free throws in the first three quarters.
I understand.
Is the reason why we're here in the first place.
I understand the point and the premise.
Yeah.
But you still have to get some credit to Shaq for being quote unquote clutch.
But I mean, the point is it reminds me of that era when Shaq missed them so often, and you just got accustomed to them missing them. It's like that's just who he is. Those are free buckets, but hey.
I don't know, man.
I guess you can't have everything, right?
That's the one thing you should have. You make millions of dollars upon millions of dollars, and you can't shoot. It's the easiest shot, Kevin. It's the easiest shot. You are unguarded. It's literally called a free throw.
Look, I feel like I'm having the same conversation with my mother 10 years ago when Shaq was on this team.
Your mom was a smart woman, bro. Is a smart woman.
She would sit up there and clap. You know how some people clap? It's like, it's a free throw.
Yeah, when you get real angry, you start clapping with every word. Mama Seaver's a smart lady, bro.
I'm like, look, Mom, you know who he is. He ain't about to change tonight.
Nah, what you know? Tonight is the night that he starts changing. What you mean? But yeah, that's the one thing about LeBron that irks me. Back to the Dallas game, it was 129-114, which was really impressive. That put the Lakers at 31-7, took their win streak to 7 games overall. Dallas is now 23-15 after that game. Like I said, LeBron had 35 points, 14 for 25, shooting 3 for 6 from 3, 16 rebounds. And obviously AD missed that game because of what we talked about earlier in the next game, how he fell on his butt hard. But Kuzma,
kind of funny.
Yeah, I know. He's kind of butthurt, right? Like, is he not kind of butthurt? I'm sorry, I don't mean to joke about it. But Kuzma stepped up big time. He didn't shoot the best. Kuzma had 26 points. He shot 9 for 22 from the field. I don't like that. And 2 for 8 from 3. I don't like that either.
Look, we needed it. We needed someone to be aggressive.
AD's off the court. Somebody has to take those shots.
Yes. And Kuzma was the guy. He stepped up. And he walked off the court with 26 points. And, did you hear the remarks he said after the game?
Was that about the everybody's hungry? Everybody has a point to prove, or was that after the Thunder game?
No, he said, I'm a rhythm player, and when I'm in rhythm, I play well. Yes. I was like, are you trying to send a message to the front office?
Yeah. He's been saying this all year, bro.
Look, I mean, I'm like, Kuzma, you're still in a rookie deal, man. I don't know if this is the brightest message you want to send. But I understand.
To get him on the way out.
Look,
you're out.
I understand.
Strike 1 was his trainer. Strike 2 was his call a spade, his reaction to it. Strike 3, I'm a rhythm player. Oh, okay. You know where you're getting some rhythm? Up there in Sacramento with Luke. Bring us Bogdanovich, or whatever. Bring him, bro. He's a better spot-up three-point shooter than you. And what's the third option on a LeBron James team ever been? A spot-up shooter. Kevin Love, Chris Bosh.
But okay, so in a small way, I have a problem with the way they're setting up Kuzma, because when LeBron James is actually pushing his way into the paint, he's rarely ever, kicking it out to Kuzma. Mm-hmm. He usually kicks it out to
because you don't trust Kuzma, like his jump shot. Like LeBron, I don't know. I can't say for sure.
He's money on wide open 3-pointers. I mean, when was the last time you see him mess up a wide open 3-pointer? It's always when he has a hand in his face. Because, Kuzma can't
He's money from the corners when he catches and shoots.
Yeah.
Anywhere on the wing or dead center, I don't trust him.
No, because he doesn't really have a dribble. You can see he's trying to create a dribble, so he can shoot off a rhythm because he says, I'm a rhythm player.
Yeah.
But he's just like, when I'm touching the ball in flow of the offense, I'm a better player.
Well, to your point, I can't remember who said it, but somebody from the Lakers, either on the team or the coaching staff, said that the game plan with AD out was to just pass Kuz the ball. Even if he doesn't dribble a single time, even if he doesn't shoot it, just to let him feel the ball in his hands.
Yes. And you can tell. Because, some guys need to, dribble, and then they pull up within that dribble.
Yeah.
He's not that guy. He can't dribble.
I don't know. The ball sticks a whole lot with Kuz, man. Like I told you, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, he's kind of starting to remind me of Carmelo Anthony. Like a Carmelo. He's a ball stopper. Kuzma is a ball stopper, bro. The ball stops when it gets to Kuz.
I'm not ready to say that. Because ball stopper is usually
Look closely. Look closely.
All right.
Kuz will catch the ball, and probably 60 to 70% of the time that he catches it, it's dribble, shot.
But he ain't got no dribble.
But he thinks he does. That's the issue. That's the problem. That's what I'm saying. That's probably why LeBron is like, no, I'm not giving you the ball. Yeah. Like, you're going to mess him. You're going to stop the flow of the offense. You're not as good as Carmelo, first of all. Second of all,
wow.
Bro, Carmelo or Kuz?
Right now? Right now. I'm taking Kuz. I'm not taking Melo. Not on this team.
Why not?
Because as bad of a defender as Kuzma is, I can still see the effort. There are a lot of times where I see Melo just take the play off. Like a guy would just go around him, he'd be like, whatever, I'll get him next time.
And you know what Phil would say? That's fine. Funnel him into the big man. Let Shaq get that block. You know what? You know what Frank's probably saying? Funnel him into the big man. Let AD, let McGee, let Dwight, let them get them blocks. Go ahead. Take your butt inside. Let's see how well that worked for you. Go ahead.
Look, you know how I know he does it? Because he did it a few times when he was playing the Lakers. Someone spun on him. He was just like, I'll get him next time.
He's also, 35, 36, something like that.
I was like, man, Melo has not changed.
Man, I love Melo, though. I still can't stand that 00. I still can't. If he didn't have that 00, I'd have bought a Carmelo jersey.
Really?
Oh, Carmelo is one of my all-time favorite players, bro. It's Kobe, and then Chris Paul and Carmelo. And that changes on every given day. Like, some days it's Melo over CP, some days it's CP over Melo. But that's my top three. As far as favorites, not my all-time best or anything. But
now to defend, going back to defend Kyle Kuzma, he has, in terms of usage rate in the NBA, he's 86. But he's actually behind guys like Melo. He's actually behind guys like Danilo Gallinari.
Look at the team he's on, too. He has to eat with LeBron and AD. Come on now.
It makes sense.
That's why he's 86.
He's like, he has the same usage as like Fred Van Vliet.
If you put Kuzma on Portland, does his usage rate go up or down?
They need scoring, so they will go up.
That's my point.
But they need scoring.
That's my point. So if you took Melo off the Portland Trailblazers and you took Kuzma off the Lakers and you traded them for each other, their usage rates are going to flip-flop together.
Yes.
So that's my point. Like, okay, so he's only 86 in the usage rate. But look where he's at. B.I., what's his usage rate in New Orleans?
Brandon Ingram, his is probably pretty high. He's 24th. Yeah, his is really high.
Same thing.
He's their only
take B.I. off.
He's their number one option.
There. Okay, but still, it's the same
If you're
thing.
the number one option, your usage rate is going to be high in general. I expect every scorer, every main scorer to be up here in the top 25.
Right.
Because Trae Young, number 4 in the league. Makes sense.
Right. Okay, so
Kawhi Leonard's number 7. That's, Jesus Christ.
Oh, you're talking about a Clipper right now?
Oh, stop it.
Back to this Dallas game. It was a good win, 15 points on the road without AD. Nobody else on the Lakers besides Kuz and LeBron had double figures except for Dwight, who had 10, and Rondo, who had 10. Rondo had 10 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. on 3 for 9 shooting from the field in 24 minutes. And he was a +9. And he was a +9. There we go, Rondo. Everybody, y'all need to cool it on this trade, Rondo. We have Rondo. You need to cool it on. Trust me. Give Rondo until the playoffs, and he is going to show you why he is on this team in the first place.
I hope you're right. Because I've told you there are times where I'll see Rondo make a brilliant pass. I'm like, wow, that was a good pass. There's only a certain amount of guys in the league that can make that kind of pass.
They even have the vision to even see it.
Yes, and then the very next play, you're like, what are you thinking? I mean, that's usually what happens right after that great pass.
I mean, I think Laker fans have been too hard on Rondo. I'm not saying he's the greatest. I'm not saying he's like been tearing it up or anything. Like, I understand he's been fairly bad.
Fairly.
I'll go there. I'll say I'm meeting you halfway. Okay. All right, work with me here. He's been fairly bad, but he's still. It's small things that don't show up in the box score. 1, veteran presence. 2, championship medal. You're going to want that in the playoffs. Somebody who, 1, is handling the ball that has been there. He only has 1 ring. He won it in 2008. But guess what? He was the point guard. And he was the starting point guard, so he had a legit role. He knows how to handle those playoff series. Okay? He's going to be there to ease up the pressure on LeBron having to work so hard, bringing the ball up the floor. I don't care how bad the numbers are. That in itself is valuable.
Like, if you're losing the lead every single game, when you come off the bench, there's a problem.
You can't say every game. We'll talk about that Thunder game when he started.
Okay, he had one. He had one amazing game, but we don't even need Rondo to be amazing. We just need.
So are you happy with 10, 5, and 3?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 2 games back to back that he was good, right?
But I need him to do that every night because
in the playoffs he will. In the playoff series he will.
Because what we were talking about last time is that Kuzma and Rondo need to be more consistent.
Yeah.
Within their roles.
Yeah.
And it's in a small way. It kind of seems like Kuzma wants out of the Lakers because he wants to be
the guy,
or one of the main guys, like a 1B. But while he's here, he needs to be consistent in his role. So,
excuse me.
Yeah, but Lakers could be wrong because if you end up trading him, I mean, you know who played like this a while ago?
Who?
Harden. When he was playing for the Thunder, he was very inconsistent.
Uh-huh.
Very inconsistent. And then, he got that big contract with Houston. And I was like, what was Houston thinking?
Yeah.
But then again, he only got $1 million more to leave.
Yeah, that's what Clay Bennett was.
And then all of a sudden, now you see like this explosion come from James Harden.
Where?
Even at Arizona State, everyone said he was a scoring machine.
I mean, the way I look at Rondo is, I look at Rondo a lot like how Lakers fans looked at Derek Fisher. And the fact that he's going to control the offense, he's going to handle everything. He's not going to be somebody that's looked to score, but it's the leadership, the presence, the calming, the soothing that Fish used to provide. Because when we had Fish out on the floor, he was bringing the ball up, and he was basically the only one that would tell Kobe, I'm the point, I'm running this.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't see that in Rondo. Because Fish would say, this is what I'll give Fish credit. He would always say the right thing at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I'm not sure if Rondo's capable of that.
Maybe, but we don't really know yet.
I mean,
he's been turning it around.
Yeah, he had a great game. He had a great game. He had an even better game when they played the Thunder.
Great game when they played the Thunder. Good game against the Mavs. Great game against the Thunder.
Great game against the Thunder.
On the Mavs side of things in this game, Luka
ripping his jersey.
Oh man, that was great. He missed 4 out of 5 free throws in the first half. Towards the end of the first half, he missed 4 out of 5 free throws. He missed the last one, turned around, and kind of Hulk Hogan did. Got it about halfway. Played the last 2 minutes of the half with a halfway ripped jersey.
What are you doing, bro?
And they caught him at somebody on the Lakers was shooting free throws, so he was up at 3-point line. They caught him trying to put it back to trying to cover up his chest and whatnot. I'm like, oh my, you already did it. You might as well just
just live with it.
But Luka, he had 25 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists. So he played fairly well himself. He shot 8 for 19 from the field, 1 for 5 from 3, 8 for 13 from the free throw line. But he was a minus 13. But again, like the game against the Knicks, everybody on the Dallas Mavericks roster was in the negative. Except one player. There was one player. Cleveland?
Cleveland? Was he the power forward?
Antonius Cleveland, yeah. Oh, shooting guard.
The shooting guard. Okay. What about the power forward? He was killing us.
Oh, what's his name?
Because he, AD's not in the game, so of course the minutes have to be dispersed between.
Dudley got some minutes.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I can't stand when they put him in the game.
It's not that I can't stand him, but I know what he's capable of, and he has a lot more shortcomings than he had.
Yeah, I don't mind him as a person. I just don't want to see him playing. That's just how I.
Hey, he was starting playoff games last year.
I don't want to see him playing, bro.
In the season, I'm good with it. Hey, but you know who I'm so glad the Lakers avoided from signing last year?
Who? Tell me.
Curry.
Seth?
Yes. Oh my God. I mean, he had 16 in this game, but I watched him throughout the course of the year, and he is a big hit or miss. And the Lakers wanted to sign him as in being one of the starters.
As a starter?
Yeah, they wanted him to match him up with.
I knew that they were going
Green.
after him and that they wanted him. I figured he'd have been coming off the bench, probably in that backup point guard role.
Oof. Even as a backup, I'm weary of him.
Yeah, as a starter, that don't sound good. But I mean, if we would have got him over Troy Daniels,
I like
Quinn
Troy Daniels
Cook,
better than I like him.
Oh, you've been talking a lot about Troy Daniels. That's your new man crush, huh?
He's been balling.
That's your man crush, huh?
No.
Man crush Monday?
No. Man crush Monday.
But yeah, the Mavs, everybody was negative and plus minus except for Cleveland, like I said, who only played 4 minutes. So I'm sure if he'd given substantial minutes, he would have been in the minus as well. And the Lakers seemed to really dominate that game as well. It was a 15-point win, so it was a decent win, a good chunk. But they controlled the entire game from start to finish.
I'm surprised they got 60 points in the paint knowing that AD wasn't in the game. I'm surprised. I was like, oh my God, we're about to get killed from the paint.
Yeah.
But
apparently, I'm looking at the box score right now. Did you know that Giannis's brother got in the game?
Yeah, I saw it.
I've been waiting 2 minutes.
Minute.
Yeah, 2 minutes. I've been waiting for that all year, and I didn't until right now when I'm looking at the box score. I didn't even realize he got in the game.
He was only in there for a hot minute. I was hoping they'd pass on the ball. It didn't happen.
It was probably in there for that garbage time last 2 minutes or whatever.
He had an assist though, so I mean, he touched it.
Ooh, Costas. Get it, bro. He had more assists than shot attempts. And somehow, this is what I don't understand. Somehow, in 2 minutes, you're -4.
Hey, man, I ain't do nothing.
You couldn't even keep it even?
And I had an assist. No shot attempts.
Something, I don't know.
But you're in the garbage time. They probably try to make a little small comeback.
Not really worried about it,
Yeah. And Dallas, they have a lot of young players.
Yeah.
So, they got a lot to prove.
All right. So we'll move on. We'll leave that there. We'll move on to the Thunder game. It was the second night of back-to-back. The Lakers went from Dallas to Oklahoma City. And in this game, this is the real interesting one that we probably are going to spend the majority of the podcast talking about. No LeBron, no Anthony Davis, no Danny Green. I didn't know Danny Green wasn't playing until I started watching the game. I still can't figure out why he didn't play. I don't know what was up with him. I saw him for about 30 seconds on the bench. But other than that, I didn't even see him on. I don't know. But somehow the Lakers came away with another 15-point win, 125 to 110. They put up, I believe it was 45 in the first quarter. Against Dallas, they put up 41 in the first quarter. Two very quick starts.
This one was 41.
This one was 41?
Yeah, 41. 73 in the first half.
Yeah, so I had it reversed.
73.
This is by far the best one of the year so far.
Yeah, best team win.
Yeah. Kuz had 36 points on 15 for 24 from the field, 4 for 6 from 3.
That's perfect.
Yeah, those are good numbers. He played 40 minutes. Now, to my guy, yeah.
Of course, you mentioned Kuzma first. Butter me up.
Yep. Burn you up. Get that out the way. Now I got the floor to talk about my dude. And if you listen to our show on the regular, you know who I'm talking about. Rondo, 21, 12, and 8. Two assists. And that's the weird thing. He had more rebounds than assists. 2 assists away from a triple-double. Yeah, 2 assists.
Oh, okay. 2 assists away. I'm sorry. Yeah.
2 assists away from a triple-double. He shot 10 for 22 from the field. He started off really fast. I think he had the Lakers' first 6 or 8 points. He made his first 5 shots or something like that. He was a plus 14 in the plus minus, and he had a steal. Rondo came out and he was controlling the offense. He was doing his thing. He looked like the Celtics Rondo. Not defensively, but the way he ran the offense in there, he looked like the Rondo of old. And that's what I think the Lakers are going to get in the playoffs if they keep him on the roster.
Well, you know, if the Lakers play the Thunder in the playoffs, you're going to get that Rondo every night. Because you know who plays for the Thunder?
CP.
Oh, yeah.
Can we get a boxing match without suspensions?
Hold the spit.
But I'm just saying, like, playoff series are more intensified. It would be nice to see some. Don't get me wrong, I'm not praying for anybody to get hurt or anything, but it would be nice to see some physical play, some emotional, intense play. And Rondo killed it. Kuzma killed it. The rest of the team, you had KCP with 11, Dwight with 12, Quinn Cook with 13, Caruso with 11, Troy Daniels with 12. Even though Troy Daniels was 12 points, he was a -2, which I don't really understand how, because when I was watching him with the eye test, he seemed to be pretty effective.
I'm telling you, Troy Daniels, he can shoot.
Yeah.
He needs to be open, but it's knockdown. He's a knockdown shooter.
I like his shot. I just don't think he's big enough as far as size.
Yeah, but he's coming off the bench. I mean, think about who he'll be coming off the bench against. And he doesn't, he's not a really good defender. He's an effort defender. He doesn't have long arms. Right. He's not really big. He's not really fast. But considering the fact that he'll be coming off the bench, and in a playoff game or playoff series, other teams might get tired and they might lose track of him. He's a good knockdown shooter.
Now, that's assuming that he could come off the bench after not playing for 2 or 3 weeks and still have that rhythm.
I mean, he's doing it right now.
He wasn't at first before this 3-game road trip or whatever it was, 2-game road trip. He wasn't doing it.
He
had some good games at the beginning, and then he was nowhere to be found.
I promise you, the last 2 or 3 weeks, I haven't even seen him get off the bench.
That's what I'm saying.
But that doesn't mean you're not doing your job. That just means that, maybe the games were tighter back then.
Yeah, but then when he has been, like I said, these last 2-3 games or whatever, he's been shooting better, like he was at the beginning of the year. Mm-hmm. But there was a gap of about 20 to 25 games where he was just non-existent. 1, he barely got off the bench. Mm-hmm. 2, when he did get off the bench, he was missing a lot of his shots.
I mean, the same thing with Quinn Cook. And you can see Quinn Cook, it seems like they're easing into their role, which is why you have to, it's a long season, especially when you're coming off the bench. You're not playing that many minutes.
Mm. I mean, but that's why I'm worried about him come playoff time, because if you can't do it now, why am I? It's not like Rondo, where Rondo has shown that. Look what I've done in the regular season. Throw that out.
Yeah, but see,
because now you got playoff Rondo.
Rondo in the past.
I'm talking about Rondo like from a year or two ago. Well, okay, not a year ago because he's on the Lakers last year. Yeah. Oh, we missed the playoffs, but it's last year in New Orleans.
Rondo, I want to sit on the other side of the bench and do the right thing. That guy.
It's better than Chris Kamey when he was laying down taking a nap on the bench. Hold on. You remember that when Chris Kamey was Laker?
I do remember
Big
that.
7 foot.
I don't even know why we signed that guy. Big Grizzly Adams.
My mom used to call him Big Ugly when he was with the Clippers. She saw him shooting free throws one day. She's like, ooh, he's ugly? She started calling him Big Ugly every time she saw him. Oh, there's Big Ugly. Oh, yeah, but, I mean, at least Rondo's shown an ability to do it. And turn it on. I don't have that same faith in Troy Daniels, Quinn Cook. Quinn Cook, has the same championship pedigree in the fact that he's won championships just like Rondo.
As the backup point guard.
That's where I was going. Quinn Cook's role was far different on that Warriors championship team than Rondo's was on the Celtics.
Yeah. It seems like Quinn Cook is
because if Quinn Cook tried to come into the locker room and start telling me, yo, this is what it takes to win champion. What the hell are you talking? If Rondo comes in the locker room talking about, look, this is what it takes to win championship, I'm going to listen to Rondo.
Like, who has more championships, Quinn Cook or Rondo?
Bro, come on now. That's not a fair argument. Not a fair argument. Come on, man.
Saying.
It's not fair.
And who has the more recent championships?
Rondo had a legitimate role. Quinn Cook didn't get off the bench sometimes.
Like, let's put it this way.
Quinn Cook had Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Kevin Durant, Iggy, Andre Bogut.
Oh, okay. Andrew Bogut?
Yeah, Andrew Bogut. Yeah, that's why I caught myself. Oh my God, I got this all wrong. Andrew Bogut. Sean Livingston, Leandro Barbosa. Come on, man. I just named you off 8 or 9 players that were ahead of Quinn Cook. Rondo was a starter.
But you can also say that, if you want to play devil's advocate, you can also say that Quinn Cook played in a more recent championship, whereas Rondo played in an NBA style where it was a little more aggressive, a little more physical than it is today. The offense is way more free-flowing today than it was when he won.
But Quinn Cook's role was not as significant.
I mean, do you remember what they did to Kobe the first time the Lakers played the Celtics?
Oh, the first time?
Yes. They manhandled him.
Yeah,
you can't do that today.
Bro, they blew the Lakers out by 38 in Game 6.
They call fouls for everything now. You blow in a dude's ear, they call a foul.
Rondo still... I'll take the significance of Rondo's role in his one championship over Quinn Cook, who probably played 8 to 12 minutes a game.
Yeah.
For 2.
In every single one of those games.
Rondo was a star. Did Rondo not make an impact?
That was a long time ago, man.
You can't.
I'm just saying, it was a long time ago.
I don't understand why you're my friend. You don't we don't see eye to eye on nothing, man. There's not one time that you're like, okay, I agree with you.
I'm telling you, he had 2 great games. I mean, he had one good game, one great game. But if you ask me, who has more pull right now with the way that Rondo's playing? The way that he's been playing?
You think Quinn Cook has more pull than Rondo?
I think Rondo was almost on his way out.
Why do you say this?
Because the Lakers were losing leads every game he came in the game. Every time he came in the game. Do you not realize Rondo's controlling the flow of the bench, right?
I'm going to tell you this.
Look, listen to this.
Okay, I'll let you talk to Naga.
Yeah. Rondo's controlling the flow of the bench, right?
Uh-huh.
And every single game, every single Laker game, when did the Lakers lose the lead?
When the bench comes in.
Exactly. Your job as the point guard. You were on your way out until about 2 games ago.
Up. Who's the best player coming off the bench?
Kuzma.
Why Kuz don't get no blame? Why doesn't anybody ever talk about, every time Kuz comes in... It's the same thing that we had with KCP earlier.
Kuzma might be the best player coming off the bench, but they're both getting the same blame.
I don't hear it.
Kuzma's inconsistencies and Rondo's inconsistencies
Well, maybe
They're
I'm
one and the same
maybe
right
I'm
now.
looking in the wrong spot because I listen to ESPN LA 710 religiously, basically every weekday. You know, if I'm out driving, I gotta go pick my son up from daycare, take him to
Yeah.
daycare, go somewhere, go to school, go wherever. If I'm in the car during the week, I have it on ESPN 710, and I don't hear none of this hate or anger or blame going towards Kuzma.
Mm-hmm.
I hear it all going Rondo's way, which, okay, that's cool. He deserves some blame. I'm not saying let him get off scot-free.
Yeah.
I get it. But at the same time, I don't see no blame going to Kuzma. And Kuzma was supposed to be our third option, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kuzma's supposed to be part of our big three, right?
Yeah.
But nobody wants to talk about how bad Kuzma's been playing. Nobody wants to talk about 0 points when your whole job is to score the basketball.
From my perspective, they're both in the same boat. They've both been inconsistent as hell. But I would say if I'm going to blame if I blame one player, it's always going to be the point guard because you control the flow of the game.
That's a fair point because you got the ball in your hands as
Exactly.
well. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But the way I feel about it is, look, even if they say they signed Darren Collison, right?
Mm-hmm.
We talked about this a bit.
Yeah.
Say they signed Darren Collison. I'm still not getting rid of Rondo.
Really?
I'm playing them both together off the bench.
Oof.
I'll have Rondo run the point. Darren Collison, because Darren Collison is a better shooter. So I'll have Darren Collison at the 2.
Yeah.
And then if Rondo's in trouble, okay, give the ball to Darren Collison. Maybe sometimes I want to run pick and roll with Collison. Maybe Rondo gets hurt. Rondo's had a bad issue of breaking his hand since he's been with the Lakers. Rondo's a little bit older, you know. Maybe he's not as athletic to run a more quick, fast-paced offensive tempo. But I would keep both of them, and I would try to experiment with both of them on the court at the same time and see how it goes.
I don't think you can. I've been watching Collison since he was at UCLA.
You don't think he could play off ball at all?
It's not that I don't think he can play off ball.
I'm not asking him to play off ball a lot because I'm still going to give him the ball.
It's not that. It's not that because that's not the issue because he can't play off ball. The problem is that when you have both of them on the floor at the same time, you would lack a lot of 3-point shooting. Those are two guys that are neither one of them are very good 3-point shooters.
I know that, but Collison's
he's better.
Better, yeah.
But how much better? You know, just a tad bit better doesn't count.
Because I mean, I would at least experiment with it and kind of see. But yeah, even if they don't experiment with it, if they sign Collison, Rondo's not the one you trade or release. I feel like personally it has to be either Troy Daniels or Quinn Cook. One of those is the one that's the odd man out. Because it's not going to be Caruso.
No, Caruso's in it.
Who's the other? It's not going to be, if you leave it up to the fans, it's not going to be KCP because he's shown his worth and he's a clutch client.
Yeah.
I think it has to be Quinn Cook or Troy Daniels. And at this point, I don't really care which one you go with. Maybe after the last couple games, I might say keep Troy Daniels. But before that, if you'd asked me last week,
Quinn Cook.
I mean, whichever one, throw it up. Flip a coin.
I love the way that Quinn Cook can dribble.
I had higher hopes for Quinn Cook when he signed with the Lakers over the summer. But watching him through, 38 games now, he can't even really sniff the court.
I don't think he gets he doesn't get a lot of opportunities, and when he does, he's so sneaky with the ball. Like you can tell, he doesn't need to score to be effective on the court.
I mean, I'm not saying he's a bad player because, I said, I had high hopes for him. Maybe that's the issue, though. I had my expectations set too high because I kind of thought he would be a 8-man on this team. He can't even really get off the bench. I mean, recently he was going 2-3 weeks without even touching the floor. Same with Troy Daniels. So if you'd asked me last week who I want, Troy Daniels or Quinn Cook, flip a coin. I'll live with whatever.
In a way, it's pretty much the same role he had when he was on the Warriors, though. I mean, think about it. They had Steph Curry, and then sometimes they brought in Iggy to run the point, and then outside of that, they would run Sean Livingston to run the point. So he would just come in every now and then. He has the same role.
See, I don't.
Collison is a better 3-point shooter.
By how much?
Last season, he shot 40% from three. The season before that, he shot 46% from three.
Okay. And Rondo's about low 30s.
35%.
Okay,
The
mid 30s.
best he's ever shot was 37.
How many years ago?
2016, 2017.
Oh, not too bad.
So
4 years ago?
for the last 4 years, Collison's been at 40%.
Yeah, which is why I would bring Collison in and still keep Rondo, and I would kind of play a small lineup with Collison at the 2. That way that because Rondo's not going to have the ball every second of every put, so But that still gives us Collison to, if we want, even if we want Collison to bring the ball up and run the offense a little bit, every couple of possessions, run pick and roll, he can spot up and shoot 40% from threes. Yeah, pretty good.
Collison's probably timely threes. Even when he was from the time he was at UCLA to even the time he was playing for the Pacers, he would shuffle the ball around a lot and wait to the last minute before he shot the three. He just seems like he's hesitant.
Which I'm okay with, but that's why I would at least experiment with it. I would give it a try. Because you have to, whatever they can do to improve, and it's hard to improve on a 33-7 record.
Yeah, no.
But
We're almost at the halfway mark.
The game I'm going to, exactly, halfway through the season. Halfway, and I swear AD.
Laker fans, pray.
Dude,
to a game.
Right. Here we go. Watch that be the one that ends the win streak or whatever. But could you imagine if they win that game halfway through the season, 34-7? Do you realize they're on pace for 68 wins?
Yeah.
At that point, I wonder. I'm curious if that's the case.
Put it this way: we talked about it earlier. The Thunder came in the last 10 games. They were 8-2. The last 10 games are 8-2. We have no LeBron. We have no AD. We have no Danny Green.
60% of our starting line.
Yes,
gone. Not even playing.
And we win 125-110. I mean, I don't
on the road.
I don't want to say the Lakers are like
in the second game of a back-to-back.
Yes, I don't want to say the Lakers are unbeatable right now, but.
They woke up dangerous.
Yeah.
That Baker Mayfield saying.
Don't even include Baker Mayfield in the Lakers. The Lakers are very successful. They actually win games.
I woke up feeling dangerous.
They don't just do insurance commercials without winning games.
On Sunday when the 49ers play their NFC Championship game, I'm gonna hit you with that text.
I feel like I see more Baker Mayfield commercials than anyone else in the NFL.
Maybe. Maybe.
I'm like,
I see the bathroom
getting commercials?
I see the bathroom commercial a lot where he's like, "Oh, my toilet is broken."
How does he?
Yeah. But I'm telling you,
you don't get commercials. You're losing.
Look. I'm gonna tell you this. This has nothing to do with the podcast or anything. Come Sunday, probably right at kickoff, because I'm gonna be watching it too. Right at kickoff, I'm gonna hit you with the text. I woke up feeling dangerous. Just to annoy you. Because I already talked to Kevin how I want the Titans to win the Super Bowl and I want the Niners to go home just because I'm tired of all this Niners crap going on around me.
Haters gonna hate.
Hey, I'm a Jets fan, so if I'm living in misery, you got to be here with me. If I'm miserable, you're miserable, bro. Now, if we both meet in the Super Bowl, then I'm gonna be high fiving you. I'm gonna. Okay, it's cool. We're gonna talk crap to each other about that, but
it's gonna be a long time from now. I might have a gray beard.
I don't like you, bro. I don't like you right now. Back to the Lakers, though. Back to the Lakers. We digressed. I'm not. It was a great game for the Lakers. Great win. Best win of the season. I don't think we really got into the Thunder part of it yet, so I'll skim over that real quick. Danilo Gallinari, for those that don't know, had 24 points. Chris Paul had 16. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had 24. And Steven Adams had 12. I don't understand how Steven Adams didn't eat more.
Because he can't shoot.
but even inside with no AD.
All he has is that little baby jump.
McGee and Howard were both in foul trouble. Both of them had 5 fouls. Like, I don't understand why they didn't just start dumping the ball into Steven Adams a little bit more. Like,
all he has is that little baby jump hook. And you honestly, here's where I thought he would improve his game. I thought Steven Adams would take his game to the next level when they lost Kevin Durant. I was like, all right, so now all you have is Russell Westbrook and Steven Adams.
If you're going to step up and be a true big.
Exactly.
You know, the second part of 1-2 punch, because over the course of NBA history, the best combinations have been a guard and a big.
Yes. And he just deferred to Russell Westbrook. And all he's ever had was that little baby jump hook. And it's not even really good, to be honest with you. He does it from like a awkward stance, and people say it's money, but it doesn't look like it's money. It looks really awkward.
I mean, but still, AD didn't play. Dwight and McGee both had 5 fouls. I would expect him to have more than 12 points.
Okay.
Like, I'll take it. I'm not complaining.
I'm just saying.
But if you're a Thunder fan, that's unacceptable. Schroeder had 13 off the bench. He was the only bench player with double figures. Other than that, Thunder didn't really have anything to talk about. Nothing at all. Oh, so AD's injury is listed as a glute injury.
A glute injury?
Yeah. I'm looking at the box score right now, and for Anthony Davis, DNP glute injury. So, like I said, basically he's butthurt. Like, he's butthurt right now. I don't know what to say. That's the Thunder game in a nutshell. Lakers put up a whole bunch of points in the first quarter. They looked real good. Best win of the year. I think that's going to be the best win of the year, regardless of what happens here on out. Mm-hmm. Just because of the circumstances. Second night of back-to-back on the road without 3 of your starters, LeBron and AD included in that. I think we're going to be hard-pressed to find a better win all year.
A better team win? Yeah.
And
against a good team.
Yeah, and against a good team, and by the amount that they won.
Yeah. And the night before that, there's all types of highlights of Chris Paul, making someone or dribbling between someone's leg and taking it to the basket. I guess he was trying to show, they were playing the Houston Rockets, right?
I believe so.
And he was kind of like showing up,
This is what y'all lost. You
traded me. I'm still good. I still got it.
CP, just take your $40 million and shut up.
Take your $40 I told you he didn't have money. He's like,
it's not a bad life. It's not a bad life.
I promise you. Someone came up to him and said, hey, they can trade you if you take a cut. He's like, I ain't cutting nothing.
I need this. I need this. But you got the State Farm commercials and endorsements to make up. Nah, that's already on top. I already
I give that money to wifey.
That's her allowance. That's the allowance.
This is my money.
Oh, okay. So we don't have no more games to talk about this week. So we're going to move on back to this, the random kind of is how we always do. We're going to kind of make this quick because we've been talking for about an hour and 10 minutes now, and we're trying to keep it under an hour and a half. We wanted to talk about, I said 3 players earlier. It was, you brought up Dwight. You wanted to talk about his play.
Yes.
So we're going to get to that, but we're also going to talk about Kuz and Rondo as well. Their play as far as on the court and their trade value as well. So I'll let you start with Dwight because you brought that up, and he's not really part of any trade rumors. Dwight ain't going nowhere. A matter of fact, they just guaranteed his contract, so he's going to be with us for the rest of the year. So go ahead and talk about his play, then we'll move on to Kuzma and Rondo.
Dwight's averaging 7 points, 7 rebounds, 0.7 assists, 1.5 blocks. He's had multiple 5-block games. And he just, let's start with this. Prior to Dwight coming back to the Lakers, I guarantee you, if you had a consensus, every Laker hated him.
Oh, I did. Every Laker player or Laker fan?
Laker fan, Laker player.
Yeah,
not every Laker player, but Laker fan.
Yeah, I hated him. We talked about that in the early editions of the podcast.
Yeah, because we felt like he left us and he left us for the Houston Rockets. He got traded again. I'm sure even when he got traded, I was like, that's what you get. So, and he seemed more of like a me kind of player. He didn't want to give in to what Kobe was trying to, the information that Kobe was giving him, like, hey, we got to play hard.
Soft.
Yeah.
First time they played against each other after he left, Kobe looked at him and pointed in his face, you're a bleep. Did you see the Game of Zones?
Yes.
Do you watch Game of Zones?
Oh, I love Game of Zones.
When Kobe was sitting on his throne and Dwight came in, he was like, I present you a clutch doll. Kobe's like, oh, it's perfect. It represents just how soft you are, Dwight.
So you said the clutch doll, I was like, oh, God.
It was great. If you don't know Game of Zones, go YouTube it or something. I don't know what to tell you.
So, now, there were rumors that the Lakers wanted to sign Dwight, and I was like, oh, God, here we go. It was a non-guaranteed contract, so I was like, all right, whatever. And then he started putting up these numbers where he was having these multiple block games,
right?
And you could just see the fun that he's having. And he seems like the Dwight Howard from the Orlando Magic, where he's enjoying the game of basketball again. I mean, he's on the bench, and someone else is making a great play. He's the first one up, and he's like rooting them on and cheering them on. When LeBron James
wearing his heating pad, I always see that. I'm like, damn, you getting that on, bro? Like,
I know. Like when LeBron throws the chalk up in the air, Dwight Howard's like pretending like he's taking photos.
Well, when LeBron didn't play against OKC, Dwight felt the need to step into and impersonate that. He didn't actually put the chalk right, but he did. He went to half court and he didn't start right, but he pretended to do it. Having fun like Dwight does.
But you can just see that he's really enjoying being on this team, and not only does he enjoy just being on the team, because a lot of rookies will enjoy being in the NBA, money, and living out your dream.
I enjoy being on this team. I enjoy being on the Memphis Grizzlies or the New York Knicks for all I care. I don't care where you send me. Give me that money and let me go to practice and let me get the courtside seats every game on the bench.
Yeah, about it. But he's actually productive and he's doing very, very well.
Yeah, see, when they first started talking about signing Dwight after the Boogie injury and everything, I looked at it two different ways. The first way I looked at it was as a Laker fan. And I was like, no, this can't happen. I'm not
exactly.
This better take Mo Space over him. I don't care. Give me Joe Kim. No,
one of the options at the
it
time.
was Dwight, Joe Kim, and Mo Space. Mm-hmm. I was literally, give me anybody. Give me
anybody
a G
Dwight.
Yeah. But then after a day or two of me letting my emotions settle, I don't know if emotions is even the right word or whatever, but when I came to a clearer head and I started to think about it and the fit, it made sense basketball-wise.
It does. It does a lot.
And we're seeing that. Obviously, we're seeing that.
Yeah.
But even when it first came out, and I was like, okay, it makes sense. So after I started to think about it in a basketball perspective, I was like, okay, I won't be too mad if they do it.
Yeah. And even though he's benefiting a lot from a lot of alley-oops from LeBron and other guards
but
on the team.
That's perfect. That's what we want.
Yeah.
We don't want him going into the post and demanding.
No.
He would have got cut a long time ago if that's what he was doing.
He's punishing teams when they allow that to happen. I mean, I don't know how many times it takes for teams to figure out Dwight Howard's going to get a lob.
Right.
And he gets so many lobs. And,
he's shooting the best field goal percentage of his career. And granted, they're all dunks. I shouldn't say that. He's 3 for 5 from the 3-point line, peoples.
Yeah. Oh, man.
See, it's very small sample size.
I didn't see that coming.
Very small sample size. 60% from the 3-point line. He and JaVale McGee are the two best 3-point shooters percentage-wise.
I don't want to hear that. It's percentage-wise.
JaVale is 2 for 3.
Yeah, anyway.
I mean, it's so weird, and you can't really pay attention to it because it's to get total. They've shot 8, so Dwight is 3 for 5, and McGee is 2 for 3. So total, they've shot 8 all year. But if you look at the percentages and don't worry about the amount of attempts, those are the two best 3-point shooters on the team.
Empty stats. empty stats. But I just want to say, Dwight. If Dwight is able to win a championship with the Lakers, all is forgiven.
I agree. All right, so we'll move on to Kuzma's play. Obviously, the Mavs game and the Thunder game, which we kind of already hit on. The big games, Kuz had 36 against the Thunder, and I think it was 31 against the Mavs. If I'm wrong, rewind the podcast, go fact check me, but make sure you leave that like and subscribe. Gotta sneak that in there. Right there. You like how I did that?
I know. He was like, I don't care if you don't like me, you don't like and subscribe.
But yeah, Kuz's been playing well. And obviously, like we said, got on Rondo for the Mavs and Thunder. He had a good game against the Mavs, a great game against the Thunder. Apparently, you've heard both of them in trade rumors. I know, obviously, they're answering the phone about Kuz.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything about Rondo, so let me know about that.
Yeah, both of them.
What have you heard about Rondo?
That nobody wants him.
Oh, God. I want him. I'm somebody. I'm somebody.
Rondo's going to show up to your house and be like, hey, I heard you traded for me.
Yeah, bro, let's kick it. Come, you rage on Rondo. Come on in. Let's talk. I got a lot of things to ask you. I can run a feature story. Like, I'm going to use this in my benefit somehow. I'll write a feature on you. Cool. Let's be friends. Let me walk around and talk about, my boy's a NBA championship.
Yeah, that NBA championship has the Celtics on
my best friend. Hey, I liked him when he was a Celtics. I know it's blasphemy, but I liked him when he was a Celtics.
Yeah, I can't believe you just said that.
Don't worry, he'll get a Lakers ring this year.
All right.
First player in NBA history, Celtics and Lakers ring.
Yeah, that's gonna be weird.
So I was thinking about this. Okay, and it's completely off topic, but it's kind of on topic because it's about Rondo. Assume the Lakers win the championship this year.
Mm-hmm.
So now Rondo has a ring with the Celtics and a ring with the Lakers.
Okay.
Assume he makes the Hall of Fame. Could he get both his jersey retired with
Come on,
both?
man, you're going way too far.
I mean, the Lakers have already said if you play for us, you make the Hall of Fame, you're getting your jersey retired. I'm not saying Rondo's a Hall of Famer, but I think he's somebody that's going to be considered for the Hall of Fame when he's
everybody's considered
10, 15. Bro, come on now. You know what I'm talking about. 10 years, 15 years after he retires. I'm not saying he's first ballot, second time, third time, but years after he retired and people start to look back on his career and the numbers.
What's his statue going to look like? Him spitting on Chris Paul?
Bro, that's why I can't take you seriously, man. You can't never have a serious conversation. Anyways, the point I'm trying to make, should you consider Rondo a Hall of Famer? Should he make it?
I don't think he's done enough. Not for this team. Definitely not for this team.
So you would think he gets his number retired as a Celtic but not a Laker?
Probably.
I mean, which is why I brought this up because
I don't even know if they put him in.
Oh, I think they will. I think
so?
I think they will. Yeah.
Because I know for sure Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce are going in.
Yeah.
And then
maybe Ray Allen just because of the history you left us for the Heat, and I think Rondo gets it though. I think Rondo, regardless if he makes Hall of Fame or not, the Celtics will retire his number.
Yeah. So
that's why I'm at. That's why it makes it so interesting to me because if he makes it to the Hall of Fame, that's the Lakers' standard.
But if
you want your number retired, you gotta make the Hall of Fame. If he makes the Hall of Fame,
but then again, like he's coming off the bench, and if there's any point guard in a limited role that's going to be in the Ring of Honor for the Lakers, it's going to be Derek Fisher.
But D-Fish isn't a Hall of Famer, though. That's the reason why he doesn't have his number. But it's an interesting conundrum. You get what I'm saying? Like, because obviously you look at Rondo as a Celtic. Because his best years, the majority of his years were, it was as a Celtic.
Yeah.
But if the Lakers want to stick to the standard where if you play for us and you make the Hall of Fame, we'll put your numbers up there. Your number up there. Go on a wild adventure with me. Assume he makes the Hall of Fame. How crazy would that be? Not only does he have a ring with the Celtics and the Lakers, but both of them have his jersey retired. And guess what? He wore number 9 for both of them. So he would have number 9 in the Raptors in Boston, number 9 in the Raptors in the Lakers. That's not weird to you? Like, that doesn't...
I know it pissed one person off.
Who?
Doc Rivers.
Every time he coaches out, you gotta cover up his players' banner.
Always trying to cover up them championships. I'm like, man, why don't you win your own championships?
Yeah, I don't like that. So, are you gonna give me the dirt and tell me any specific Rondo news that you heard as far as trade? Because you said you heard him in trade rumors. Who? For who? Where? Before we wrap up.
A lot of LA journalists have been saying that, Rondo will probably be traded or released from the team. Does that make it much?
See, I hope not. So I'm gonna cut your negativity there, and
I'm gonna cut your negativity.
Yeah, we're gonna leave it there.
I think he's making more than Kyle Kuzma too. Kyle Kuzma's making like no money.
Yeah, 1.9. Call it $2 million. 1.97. Call it $2 million.
Yeah,
he's $300,000 short. Poor Kuz. He can slide that over to me.
I mean, considering the way he's getting paid, he's outperforming his contract.
Bro, if somebody said, I'm going to give you $1.97 million for a year to play basketball, you would never hear me complain about nothing.
Oh, yeah, until you outperform your contract.
I couldn't dream of having $2 million. All the money I've had in my entire life is probably that amounts up to about $2 million.
You got to remember.
I'm making that in a year. No, I don't care. He came from Flint, Michigan. He was broke. His single parent household. He comes from a community that can't even get clean water. You really about to bitch? You got Puma. You got a shoe contract, so you're making money there.
Yeah, Puma.
It don't matter, bro.
Look,
it's money. Do you have a shoe endorsement?
Don't forget that he lives in Los Angeles and he plays next to LeBron James, making $37 million, and Anthony Davis making $27 million.
Okay, keep outperforming your contract and be patient. In about 6 months, you'll have more money. Don't worry about it.
I mean, KCP is making.
You better hit your agent up. Be like, yo, front me a couple mil. I got it back. Yeah. You're my agent. You know what's up with my financials.
I mean, THT, the first round pick, they're almost making the same amount.
Okay, cool. But THT's about to be making that for 3 or 4 more years, where Kuz got, like I said, 6 months. He'll be making
it's
$80 million.
It's kind of insulting considering the amount of work he's put in.
It's just where he was drafted, man. All right, so moving on. That basically brings us to the end of this episode. All we got is predictions. For next week, we got the Cavs, the Magic. That's the game I'm going to, so that better be a win. I'm calling that a win. And the Rockets. I'm going to go ahead. That's the scary one. I'm going to say a win against the Cavs. I'm going to say a win against the Magic. That Rockets game, it's on the road.
It's on the road? On a Saturday?
On a Saturday, primetime game on ABC. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say 3-0 again.
I'm going to say...
You going 2-1 or 3-0?
They're so inconsistent. See,
they are the best road team in the league.
Who? Oh,
the Lakers.
The Lakers, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Lakers are the only team that haven't lost to a less than 500 team, right? But, I'm skeptical because, it's the Houston Rockets. You have James Harden. You have Russell Westbrook. They have a lot of good players. They play fast. They play with pace. But they're so inconsistent. So I'm going to go with 3-0.
Going 3-0 as well?
Yeah.
All right, people. There we have it. Both Kevin and I say 3-0 again, which will run the win streak up to, I believe, 12, 11 or 12, something like that. Yeah.
11. Oh, yeah.
11. Yeah, we...
10.
10. Okay.
Yeah.
We were both right last week. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Maybe we'll both be right this week. We're going to get out of here and kind of cut it now because we're trying to keep it between an hour and a half.
That's a long road trip. That's an ugly road trip.
Yeah, they got Boston right after Houston.
Boston.
And they got the two New York teams. Yeah, I think that's the Grammy trip. But we'll get more into that trip next week. So if you want to hear about that, hit us, tune in, hit us up. You can do that too on Twitter. What's the handle? PGH1 Podcast on Twitter?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So go ahead and hit us up there if you want to pick an argument or anything like that. Kevin's been wanting to argue with somebody. Yeah, so go ahead and do that, and you can feel what I go through every day. If not, everybody have a good week, and we can't wait to talk to you again next week. Have a good night. It's Adam.
This is Kevin.
And we'll talk to you next week. Hopefully after another 3-0 win streak. Yeah, week. 10-game win streak. 3-0 week. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's time to go. Peace.